And that, my friend, is why Broly only appeals to the lowest common denominator of Dragon Ball fans. Surely you jest. Dragon Ball Minus is a plague on the continuity. Always has been, always will be. I'm just irritated about having to be babysat by you because the council is afraid I'll do something rash. Bah! And meanwhile, the Americans re-elected that orange monster. Never overestimate the American people. They truly are a hive of idiocy. That's just part of it. It's a worldwide trend of the coarsening of society that bothers me. The idiots are taking over everywhere. Except here, of course. Shut up, Pen Pen. But speaking of videos, I have one more to do for this year.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places.
Hiya! Penguin Truth here, and it's time for Otaku Evolution. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and contribute to the Patreon. Wow, there is not much to go over in this video. I mean, unless you count all 3 Lupin movies as separate entities, despite being dubbed by the exact same people. And even that just means 2 extra titles. Maybe I should do more videos next year? We'll see. Ocean is a funny studio. They produced a boatload of English dubs over the years, but frankly, very few of their dubs were all that noteworthy. At best, most of them were workmanlike, but not exceptional, save for 2 of them. One was Death Note. I covered that anime, and its dub, years ago. The other I covered this year, the dub to one of my favorite anime, Black Lagoon. Everyone is firing on all cylinders in the Black Lagoon English dub, from major to incidental characters, and a cast that was like lightning in a bottle. But the stars are without a doubt Brad Swale and Marika Hendricks, who just totally blow me away in every scene with their intensity and flair. They have a chemistry that is unmatched in any other Ocean dub. That's why it's among the greatest anime dubs, Grand Pantheon level.
Give me a light.
Light? The cops got the lighter.
What are you talking about? You got one in your mouth. What a fucked up day that was.
No shit.
The original Akira dub, done by Electric Media Inc. for Streamline Pictures, was, well, an interesting artifact of its time. It featured iconic 80s voice actors like Cam Clarke, Tony Pope, and Bob Bergen. But it wasn't particularly well scripted, and some of the acting was, well, kind of overly broad. This is why I didn't use it for my review of the movie. I'm kind of a stickler for accurate dubs, and Anime's dub from 2001 fits that just fine. It also stars many anime mainstays such as Johnny Young Bosch, Joshua Seth, and Wendy Lee. I can understand the nostalgic value of the original dub, but the newer one is overall much better. It's actually a very solid dub that I would recommend.
Computer-controlled anti-lock brakes. Huh. 200 horses at 12,000 RPM.
You want to ride it, Tetsuo?
All right, let's hit it!
I customized that bike for myself. It's too wild. You couldn't handle it.
It's been a few years since I covered the first Urusei Yatsura movie, and I didn't even realize the second movie's dub has a completely different cast. To me, both casts sound about the same, because they both sound completely generic and uninterested in the material. That said, the Beautiful Dreamer dub isn't out and out terrible or anything. I kind of appreciate Dreidel Roberts as the antagonist, Mujaki. The saving grace for this dub is the seriousness of the atmosphere, because their dour performances make the monologues seem earnest. Otherwise, it's a bit color-starved, and it's no wonder some of the VAs did nothing else. The old Urusei Yatsura series and movies could probably use a new English dub.
Darling! There you are! Where have you been?
Oh, no, Long! Come back here!
Hold it!
No.
Darling! Come out before I count to 3! 1, 2, 3!
Twice as tragedy, but thrice as comedy, as someone once said.
Bang Zoom is the outfit that handled the Koike Lupin movies, which is amusing because it was Funimation who did the dub for the woman called Fujiko Mine. There were almost no returning cast, outside of Richard Epcar as Zenigata. This time, the role of Lupin III would be taken by Keith Silverstein. Jigen would be veteran voice actor Dan Warren, Christina V would be doing kind of a Michelle Ruff impression as Fujiko, and rounding out the cast would be Lex Lang from the Part 2 crew as Goemon again. Very amusing choices. They're all not necessarily my preference for these characters, Lex Lang aside, but they all do a pretty good job, nevertheless. Silverstein is smooth and cool as Lupin, Warren is worn and cynical sounding, and V develops over time. Secondary characters all sound solid too. The only real complaint you can make about these dubs is that it isn't the usual Epcar crew. That's it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind hearing them again in a Lupin dub.
I have taken many lives today, and I pray for each of their souls.
Very respectful of you.
I am indebted.
I think you got it backwards. We're the ones who should be indebted to you. If it weren't for you, we'd be on our way up to the 7 heavens by now.
More like down to hell.
You got a point.
You could have come forth to aid in my fight, yet you deliberately chose to stand to the side.
A proper duel is meant to be one-on-one.
See? I told you there wasn't much to go over. But let me pause and talk about something else. Bennett, of the Anime Abandoned review series, is ending his videos, and I just wanted to take some time out to say how much I appreciate those videos, and how they were one of the big inspirations for me to start Otaku Evolution. Now, I didn't always agree with Bennett on anime, but I was usually entertained by his videos and appreciate how his style evolved over time. Obviously, my videos are nowhere near the success of his, but I continue on nevertheless. The fact that he's stepping down to take care of a family member in need is much more noble than what either of us could do involving making sarcastic remarks and pointed barbs about Japanese cartoons on the internet. Good luck, Bennett. And that's all there is to say about this here. Hard times are to follow, I'm sure, but I'll try to be here to amuse you with my piddling little anime review show. I've already got ideas for reviews for next year, and the year after that. I am just a fount of ideas, my friends. Until then, see ya! Tima's pacing is awful. Wait, you get to go to a luxury golf club and I'm trekking to Israel to fight Mossad agents? Why can't we get Mike on this project? You know I have a fiance now. This could be dangerous. You'd better get us a good wedding gift. No blenders. You already have it picked out, don't you? 'To be continued.